Alright guys, now we've made this poly paint. I'm not really sure if if I'm really liking it. I've I've did some tests, like making it less intense, like this one. So I'm not sure because it looks like some parts um, it becomes too white, too bright, and his whole head is too dark right now. I'm not sure. So I did some, you know, some strokes like that with the RGB just to make it more at the same the same shade on everything. But I'll keep with that one that we painted, right? If after we do the fiber mesh for the hairs, I can take a look again and we compare it, right? So now just to finish it, let's make the final fiber mesh on his head. You can see that I even did some tests here in Photoshop, just uh, removing the saturation in this image, and I realized that when we remove the saturation, you can see that all these marks, these different shades in reddish color, maybe they are quite in the same brightness, because in a pure black and white image we don't see too much difference in value. So even if I raise the contrast like that, we just can differentiate some some of those marks, and not really uh, these different shades that we put there, not too much like we did. But I will I will keep like this at this moment, and after, if we feel we need to do some change, we can make it after, right? So let's prepare the fiber mesh. And one concern to his hair is not nothing so hard to do, I think, because it just has some short hair. We just need to create some nice differentiation above the clump, not exactly the clumps, but making it look like this. So at first, let's understand where it's supposed to be located the actual hair. So we're gonna need to paint a mask on it. So let me first pause the layer recording that we have, but I'm not really sure if we're gonna be able to paint a mask. Yeah, we are able to paint mask without recording a layer. So the first thing is that we need to identify the actual hairline of him. So what you can see that is his hairline starts most of the time making this drawing. So more than the normal hairline would start here at least, and would make like this kind of drawing. So he's an old guy, certainly it would be more for his middle part of the head. Sorry guys. So I really think that could be something like this. by measuring the distance, something like this. I don't know. Yeah, this one is a good reference because he has this medium hair, so we can identify it better. So take a note, if we have this point here of the temporal line, should be the same of this one right here, and the temporal, the zygomatic arch. So think of the normal hairline. I think it would be here. Remember those turds in the face, right? Actually, it would be, I tried some perspective, but it would be something like that, I mean. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This is more in perspective, I mean. And then for the last third, it would be the hairline, and then we have a little bit more for the top of head, right? Yeah, so in this case, I'm gonna turn on my symmetry, the mirror. So maybe if we have the normal hairline, I think around this region here, so a little bit back, and I'm gonna start by making some drawing for the mask with Ctrl pressed, normal standard brush. We're gonna draw the mask of him. You can feel everything with mask in that way, and here will be something more like a square. Oh yeah, good. So note how we're gonna have this crease for the temporal line, and this crease also make this edge here, but it downs almost like in a vertical line and make some square and goes around the ears. Here clearly we have some curvature, but most of the time like this. You don't need to be so sharp because we're gonna smooth this masking, so we can have more we can have a better transition on his hair. here I will approximate my navigation close to this to the model, so I avoid masking the ears as well. I don't know if we have some photo of. Oh, okay, this one. Yeah, it's not so easy to see, but I think his hairline stops at this stage of the ears. So you have to always take measurements on some place using those horizontal lines and vertical lines, and thinking on not primitives but basic shapes, right? The straight lines are better to you to identify these edges, the corners. So then once you identify this, you can measure them, and with its height, how it's related on the face. This is for everything, right? When it comes to the likeness, it's always good to make these measurements on every kind of curve or drawing, so this way you can, you know, measure this distance, also this distance, and then you can compare the angle. If you're looking on a profile view like this, you can measure how inclined is this angle and compare with this angle as well. And you know, doing like this, you start to really read the forms and breaking all the character. And you have to do this on your own your perception, you know. Because of this, it's so important to lower your perception, lower the speed that you read the forms. Yeah, I think like this can be nice, but as I'm gonna show you, if we just generate some Fibermesh like this, it will looks unnatural because we have the edge too much sharp, and Fibermesh tends to generate hair or fibers based on the masking, the way that mask fills the form, the surface. So let me just show you with some preview here. Fibermesh, and then we hit preview once we masked our region. So yeah, when you hit preview like this, you can even use your own shortcut to disable the view mask, and then you can see it better what is happening there. Let me change the color. So now this was supposed to be white fibers, but it doesn't work very well on ZBrush, these white fibers. So one thing that I've already did, I remember I used some of these textures. I think the texture is larger, reduces texture, yes, let's reduce the texture. Yeah, it actually didn't change it too much, at least for this preview, and not how the hairs are too much the same. And I think also the fibers are too thin. Maybe we can raise up the coverage so it will increase the actual length, not the length but the actual width of fibers. And also let's check. It also adds more fibers on the whole region that we put. We masked the surface so we can lower the max fibers value, so we have a less density. It looks like we can have more pointy like here, so with that masking I make some pointing there. And let me lower the subdivisions, and then I can mask this masking. I can blur this mask, sorry. I can blur this masking like this, and then not too much like that. And let's preview it again. I don't know why it raised too much this length like that, but let's preview it again and remove the view masking. I'm feeling that we have to increase the coverage and lower the max fibers. I don't like it. Less length. I'm not really liking it because I'm feeling that the hairs, the fibers are too dark right now. And also it's so too much uniform, the whole silhouette. Mm, maybe if we change the gravity value, will makes the fibers drops a little bit more. By default we have 0.5. I don't know. Let's go back to 0.5 here and preview it again. Let me just make a test. If we hit accept here, fast preview render for fibers is currently off. For first, would you like to activate? No, not at this time. So it creates a new subtool separated from the head. Let me turn on the head visualization, and here, in order to make the hairs more white, let's change its material for, I don't know, something with less occlusion, because the basic material has too much occlusion. Let's try skin shade. Let's fill with the material mode selected. And let's see. Yeah, maybe with this skin shade material it can look better. But looks how the overall silhouette is too uniform. Maybe if we use some move brush, we can change it at some parts. The normal move brush I'm using here. So I'm feeling that we have more length here, and this part we have less. The fibers are bigger here, smaller here, and comes bigger again here, and then smaller and bigger. So let me analyze. Oh, no. Here. So always try to avoid this too much uniform silhouette, and in this case I'm just using the normal move brush without any other fancy brush, just making some small adjustments on the silhouettes, so this way we can keep with the clamps originated by the initial Fibermesh. But if you want, you can try all those other groom brushes. This here, the groom blower brush, clamps, and color chip, hairball, hair long, hair length. You can test them. And another one that I really like to use, I'm gonna show you maybe on doing the eyebrows, is this one located on the light box. You can go over Groom, and I like to use this Groom Magnet. It creates some nice clumpings. I can show you after that. Oh, once again,